Hello, everyone. Welcome to the party. What's up, Slay Talmax? Matej, Hantabal, Developrog, Tian, Abrams, Yo Yo, Louis Bonificial, Solhel, Dantech Plus. What's up, everybody? What is up, everyone? Hey, bro. Tell me where you're from, everyone. Everyone who's moving on in here. Tell me where you're watching from today. Love the API vid. Awesome. Yeah, we'll be doing lots of cool stuff every single Wednesday with our new casual code Wednesdays. India. What's up from India? Hey, what's up, Sid? Utah. That's where DevSlip started, is Utah. Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm recording here from my tent at home, my audio recording tent here. So, welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about C++. What is C++? How should you use it? When should you use it? What's it used for? We're going to talk about C++ today. Massachusetts, Tunisia, India, Puerto Rico, India. What's up, everybody? Senegal. I don't even know where that is. I've never even heard of that before. Ahmed, Romitz, Nigeria. The Twitch channel has only 3 videos. I don't do Twitch. I've never been into Twitch. It's not my thing at all. Like I am 1,000 years away from ever wanting to be a part of Twitch. Like it's just not in my realm. Um, what's up, right? Some American Paprikash. Hey, what's up, everybody? Is your backend course available, Rick? Rick, I haven't even announced it yet. I've been working on the curriculum. It's getting announced soon. It's raining here in LAOC. Oh, nice. California's getting some rain, huh? Kenya, what's up from Kenya? Today we're going to be talking about C++. Feel free to drop any questions in here. But C++ is a question I get all the time. Hey, Mark, should I learn C++? And so let's have a serious talk about it today. First off, does anyone here know C++? If so, how long have you been doing it, and what do you do with it? What are you doing with C++? If you know the language, I'm curious to know. Hey, what's up, Yigital Tune? Have you been to Thousand Steps Beach? That does not sound familiar. I've been to many beaches, but Golang, somebody says, what is C++ used for? Yeah, we're going to talk about that right now. Tell me if you're using C++ and what you're using it for, though. So C++ is one of the world's fastest programming language. I say the word fast, and that's important to understand. With C++, what happens is a lot of the work happens at compile time, okay, before it ever gets to a user. Now, keep in mind, languages like Python and JavaScript are what's called interpreted languages. They're compiled during runtime, like when the app is actually running, it's being read in. Not so with C++. With C++, and forgive me if you guys are C++ experts and I'm not using the correct terms, but with C++, what's happening is at compile time, it just compresses everything down super, super small to the smallest level possible. So it's going to do a lot of heavy lifting and work at compile time. And then when the app runs, basically it's speaking pretty close to machine code. So it runs incredibly fast. So why use C++? Well, let's talk about this. Why do game studios, okay, why do video game studios for the very, 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 very big games use C++? This one's an easy one. Because, especially on games like Call of Duty, performance is more important than anything else on the planet because graphics are heavy. So graphics programming is built with C++ in almost every case because it needs to run incredibly fast. Even the tiniest fraction of a millisecond becomes important, especially when you're dealing with millions of polygons and lines. And not only that, millions and millions of users, okay? So game development for those AAA games is super, super important to have the highest performing language used as the tool of choice. And also because complex mathematical operations are being performed millions of times over. You need the fastest tool set you could ever have, and C++ wins in that category. Now, C++ is very difficult language. It's, it is an object-oriented language, but it's also fairly low level. It's very difficult. Um, but it's very, very fast. And also, it's heavily used in embedded systems. So, what is an embedded system? Well, think about it this way. Have you ever pressed the window button for up and down in your car window, right? Or have you ever turned on the stereo in your car and things like that? A lot of those cars are using C++ embedded within because it could be so small and it's so fast. So C++ is often used for embedded systems. Now, I don't know what the Mars rover, which programming language they use, but I would guess it's C++. NASA uses C++ all over the place. And that's because it's very, very fast, very, very small. And again, remember, C++ is a compile time language. Basically, all of the work goes in during compile time. So your code has to be perfect beforehand. Like, you would never want to run the Mars rover on JavaScript because you might have a big runtime error. You never know what you're going to get with languages like Python and JavaScript. So C++ is very fast. So we talked about games, right? We need all the performance. Now, C++ has also been used for desktop apps, for cross-platform, and for all kinds of things in the past. Here's something that's interesting. There is a huge movement to move away from C++ and over to the Go programming language. The Go programming language. Go programming language is almost as fast as C++. It's not quite, but it is so incredibly close. And it is incredibly easy to build with, incredibly easy to learn. So, applications that are not high-performance video games or embedded systems, all the rest of the apps can now move over to Go, the Go programming language. And that's really cool. So what you've got right now is you've got companies who have been building cross-platform apps with C++ because it's cross-platform and it's fast. You've got web apps built with C++ because it's fast, right? Well, now these companies are all moving over to Go, and Go is rising in the ranks super fast because it's incredibly fast and it's easy to use. So if you don't have any interest in video games and if you don't have any interest in embedded systems, I would actually encourage you to not learn C++, but to learn the Go programming language. Go programmers are some of the highest paid engineers right now, and there is a huge need for Go. Blockchains are being built with Go. Web apps are being built with Go. Go is an incredibly high-performance language that's almost as fast as C++. So if speed is not the ultimate thing where like nothing else matters to us, we don't care if it takes 10 years to build so long as it's incredible, it's the fastest thing on the planet. If that is not your ultimate concern, you could do everything with Go. I mean, NASA could even work with Go. Go is a fantastic language, and tons of companies are moving over to it. C++ is incredibly difficult to learn. Let me give you some context of C++ in the game industry. I've been programming for like 14 years. About, I don't know, like 9 years or so into it. I had already worked at Call of Duty. I had done some Unity and C# and mobile stuff for Call of Duty, and I also did some C++. I wanted to go work as a C++ game developer. I wanted to work as a C++ game developer, and I had already had like 9 years experience, and I had worked in the game industry. I had been doing C++ for a year. I applied for over 10 jobs, and nobody would hire me. And this is how every single interview went like this. So what's your experience level with C++? And I said, well, I've been doing it for a year, but keep in mind, I've been engineering for 10 years, and I worked on Call of Duty and all these other things. I don't care. No, not interested. It would literally be just like that. I'd be like, wait a minute. I've been an engineer for 10 years. I've been doing C++ for a year, but I can get super advanced with it. It's not a big deal. It's just a programming language. Nope. You got to be an expert at C++. And one of the guys says to me, I don't care if you've been programming for 30 years. If you are not expert level C++, I don't want to talk to you. That is how they get all of my interviews in the game industry were just like that. Every single one. They did not care what I knew, unless I was an expert at C++. If I didn't live, eat, and breathe C++, they would not hire me. And I thought that was the most interesting thing because I could get a job anywhere with any programming language and just swap right over. But in the game industry, I could not even get into a junior level job after being an engineer for 9 or 10 years. I could not even get a junior level job as a C++ programmer, even though I had been doing it for a year and I had all of this experience. I thought that was really interesting, and it's still that way. I talk to people frequently, and they have that same experience. They can't get a job in the game industry as a C++ developer unless they're at expert level, and I thought that was very non-inclusive, which is interesting. So, uh, Animator Music says it really depends. Google is using Go for building with Bazel, but they mostly use C++. Well, Google's all over the place. Lots of companies are using C++, but lots of companies are also moving over to Go, which is really awesome, especially for non-embedded systems. Go is incredibly fast. I was looking at some speed performance comparisons the other day, and Go is just under C++, but it's like 10 times easier to use, which I thought was interesting. Because as garbage collection in C++, you have to manage all of your own memory. I'm doing acoustic ray tracing simulation with C++. Yes, that sounds very complicated. What's up, Goat Coder? What's up, Ed Cut? Oh, I'm sorry. Some of these names. Do you have Bitcoin? I have some Bitcoin. What is Go? Go is a programming language. Go is so simple and so complete at the same time. Yeah, I mean, compared to languages like Python, Go is not simple, but compared to C++, Go is very simple and it's very, very performant. How does someone go about creating a language? It's pretty complex, Rick. That would be really good. Like, if you wanted to get really good at engineering, like, and then to go work for like Google, you should try your hand at creating a new programming language. It's a series of setting a bunch of rules for the language in which they can communicate with the actual machine language. So on a computer, you know, your computer reads ones and zeros, right? And there has to be some way for a programming language to communicate the ones and the zeros to the computer. And so there's different layers of languages, the high level language down to sometimes assembly, you know, to machine language. And so the programming language, you give it rules in which it communicates with the operating system. It's very, very complex. But you should Google that sometime, how to create your own programming language, and try it out. I was just on Instagram and saw that you were streaming. How much did I miss? Oh, you missed everything. I'm just kidding. We were just talking about C++. I learned some basics with C++. Says, man, my Russian's getting worse. Dazar. Sorry. I learned some basic with C++, but it was kind of boring. Switch to C# and Python, much more fun and easy. Well, yeah, anything is easier than C++ in terms of learning. C is a functional programming language, and C++ is object-oriented. C++ is built upon C. So, yeah. C is also used heavily in embedded systems. I saw a guy making his own programming language on TikTok. The last thing I remember was that he was building a Lexer or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, Google. It'd be a fun experiment. It's gonna make you cry if you try, but it'll be fun. It'll be really fun. Someone made Sudoku with C++. Nice. So, do you see the gaming industry moving away from C++ in the future? No, I mean, not the AAA games. Now, keep in mind, a lot of game studios are already using C# and Unity. Now, C# and the Unity engine aren't as fast as C++, though some people would debate you on that, which is interesting to me. So there's still huge games being built with these engines, but you know, the top studios. Well, you know, here's the thing. Like, you know, the game The Last of Us at Naughty Dog Studios. You know, they built everything in C++, but they didn't have to. I mean, they don't really have to. Like, they could build their engine in C++ and have their gameplay stuff in some lower language. Like, it's a single player game. You know, I sometimes question the big game studios doing everything in C++. Like, there's times for it, but also The Last of Us didn't have to be in C++ in my opinion. Like, certain games that, you know, single player games, come on, like, Do we really have to build everything in C++? But you know, that's their choice. They've probably got an engine built on it for years. But um, you know, I think that if game studios, I think if game studios wanted high performance, they could build a game engine with Go, um, and make their lives of their developers a lot happier. Like, there's nothing worse than being a gameplay programmer where your job is to make the game fun and make, you know, events and explosions happen and or game logic, but you have to code it in C++. Like, eh, maybe leave the gameplay programming to higher level languages and maybe leave the lower level programming to C++. But that's just my opinion. Um, do you think it's okay to learn JavaScript by yourself? I mean, I think everyone should have a mentor, but JavaScript's a great language to start with. Go is very easy to learn. I enjoy using it. Yeah, Go is a great language. A lot of companies are moving over to Go from C++. Um, yeah, but games are still going to use C++. I just think not all the game studios have to. I don't know why single player games need to be all built in C++. I don't know. I only have limited expertise. I was a game. Well, I worked on the mobile app and I've done gameplay programming. I've never gone down to the graphics level, and I know graphics, you know, perform high amounts of operations, mathematical operations, and they need to be super super fast. But I don't think gameplay programming needs to be C++. Are the C languages related? C, Objective C, C++, C Sharp. So forgive me if I'm not saying anything perfectly technical here for those of you who are experts, but Objective C is an object-oriented language built on top of C. C is a functional language. C++ is the same thing. It's a object-oriented language built on top of C. C Sharp is not at all built upon C. It's completely built from the ground up by Microsoft. That's the bit that I could probably be called out on, but I'm pretty sure C Sharp is no relation to C at all. Yeah. XAMPP and Android Studio is not working on a new Mac M1. The aim is that you can learn things freely and get advice freely using Discord programming servers. The main thing is that C++ doesn't have the garbage collector, so it's easy to predict how much memory will be used, by the code. And that's the main reason why it's harder. In C# Java, there's garbage collection. That's exactly right. That's a good point to bring up. So especially with embedded systems, right? You know how big the application is. You know how much memory it's going to take. That's really important if you only have certain, like you're building something for a car, you know, or an airplane, and it has to be a certain size. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Patron? I'm not sure what that means. Rai.sb. Happy Shivaratri. I do not know what that means. But happy Shivaratri to you. Yeah. So it's easier to code, but at bigger scale, you can't control memory. I don't know how it goes with Go, though. Right. Well, yeah, memory. So, you know, we talked about processing speed in the before. This is a slightly different subject. This is the notion of like memory and you know, how much, for instance, how much RAM or how much memory does your system have? Does it hold? You know, how much does it need to use? Those things can be important beforehand, like on a Mars rover, right? You want to take the guesswork out of everything, right? So you want to know how much memory every operation is going to take on the entire system. It all needs to be proven out beforehand. You know, C++ makes a lot of sense for that. You know, gameplay programming, like you're building for PS4. Yeah, there's limited memory as well too, but you know, you have a lot more memory to work with. That, you know, it's an interesting discussion. I know a lot of people who hate Python. They mostly hate it because of the syntax and how different it is from languages like Java, Go, C Sharp. It is different. I'm not a big fan of Python myself. I know a lot of languages, and Python is not my favorite. I find it weird and strange, and I don't know. Next time, can you talk about Python? Sure, but I've got a video on Python on YouTube. You can watch it right now. It's on my channel preview. Yeah. But Python's a great language. It's an interpreted language, just like JavaScript. It's going to be slower than compiled languages, for sure. Python is fine, but for prototyping things, I really hate it for bigger projects, especially error handling. Yeah, it's the same thing with JavaScript, right? Like if you want bug-free code, don't use JavaScript or Python, right? It's a runtime language. You can do all kinds of nasty things with it. Statically typed languages are much better. That's why, for instance, when I write with JavaScript for my own applications, I always use TypeScript. I use TypeScript, and then I also use the WebStorm IDE. And with those two things, I can weed out a lot more bugs because it makes it more type safe. But because JavaScript and Python are so loosey goosey, you can do whatever you want, and they're more prone to have bugs for sure. Yep. Yep. Blankenstein.dev joined. What's up, man? Sorry, Arutahiri. We've just been talking about C++ today. It can be fun to fiddle with and play with. Oh, I was gonna show some. I was gonna show. Yeah, I'll show some cool stuff here. Let's see here. I'll share my tab. We'll do Indeed here. I'm gonna share my screen. Chrome tab. We'll do Indeed. Let me make sure that it's actually showing because last time it didn't show. There we go. Let me turn this. Just a quick glance at some jobs I thought was interesting. I lost my lights, some of my lights at least, so it's a little bit darker in here. But can TypeScript be used in every instance JavaScript can? Absolutely. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript, so yes. Man, why did my lights go out? That's interesting. There we go. The plug fell out. Can't see or hear me. Oh, did the whole thing go out? Testing. No, my audio's working. No? If you can hear me, let me know. What is the best IDE? I use Visual Studio Code. I use WebStorm a lot for my web development. We can hear you now, but before we couldn't. Strange. Yeah, so I use WebStorm for all my professional development. I mean, stuff I write for myself. It's a paid program, but it helps me to write more bug-free code. Yeah. What else? Any other questions before we wrap up here today? We've been talking a lot about C++. We've talked about Go. I was just showing some jobs for it. A lot of embedded stuff for C++. The best IDE is Vim. Changed my mind. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Goblin. I love how everyone has to like defend themselves. Like if you write the word your Y-O-U-R without the apostrophe R-E, there's so many jerks on the internet now who like to correct you, like people in general, that it's like we feel like the need to like fix our spelling mistakes or we'll be called out as an idiot. Like people just need to give it a rest. Who cares if we forget an apostrophe? Who really freaking cares? Right, man? Can you put a link for the jobs? Oh, sure. Nothing special here. I was just looking at let me stop sharing there. I was just looking at some jobs here. And here's some jobs I was looking at for on LinkedIn for C++. I'm posting these in YouTube. Sorry, Instagram. Do people get junior dev jobs in embedded systems? Rick, I did just see actually on that link there one company was hiring a junior developer, but I'm telling you, it is very hard to get into the C++ industry. It's very hard to get junior jobs. Very, very, very hard. I couldn't even get, with 9 years experience in other languages and 1 year experience in C++, I couldn't even get a C++ job. They wanted experts. They even told me that they wanted experts. I thought it was really, really dumb, but whatever. Any advice for a person learning pure C? Good luck. There's a reason why we learn CPP in uni. Okay, what's the reason? That's a high bar to jump. Yeah, it was hard. I applied for like 10 jobs in the game industry, and I had 9 years experience as a programmer, but 1 year C++, and they literally said, I don't care about your other experience. I want you to be an expert at C++. Like it was almost kind of frustrating. I want to be like, dude, I don't want to hear the freaking word C++ out of your mouth again. I can learn this just like I can learn any other language, but I didn't say that. But I'm like, come on, like if you know one language, you know another language. Like it's whatever. I don't understand the elitism behind C++ developers. Not wanting to train people, not wanting to mentor people. They're like too pompous to spend time with you. If you can't be an expert at it, you're just not worth our time. I don't know. C++ is interesting. I was building a game with Unreal Engine and C++. Like it was great. It was fun. I whatever. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, this is a great time for our commercial break. This particular episode of Daily Live Stream is brought to you by The Last Hacker Kickstarter. Dun-da-da-da. This is my book that is coming out soon. It is a sci-fi novel set in a post-apocalyptic world, and you can back it right now on Kickstarter. Just go to kickstarter.com. It's over 300% funded, 21K here. And for those of you who are programmers or wanting to learn to code, you can actually get some courses. I did a deal with DevSlopes where you can get $1,200 worth of coding courses for $47. $47. And I have a link here where if you don't want these courses, you can pick any other 4 courses from my website. $47. This campaign is ending soon. You can get 4 courses, $1,200 worth of courses for $47, and you get my book for free. For free. For free. All you have to do is go to Kickstarter and search for The Last Hacker, or you can click the link there on YouTube. But if you want to support me and all of my efforts here every single day, just go to that Kickstarter, get my book, get those courses, and yeah, that'd be great. So anyway, that was my commercial break here. Let's see. C is the league of COBOL. My dad told me if you know C, C++ well, you'll master anything. No offense, it's hard for most of us. Yeah, well, it's a hard stuff. If you can get great at that, anything else is easier. Hey, what's up, Junior? Doing good. Arch, Gentoo, or Debian? Interesting. I've only ever used Linux Mint and Ubuntu. Cool. Hey, thanks for backing, everybody. We're gonna wrap this up here. I did want to say that if you're interested in learning iOS development, Android development, or web development, you can work with myself and my team, devslopes.com/apply, and we'll coach you to success. Guaranteed success as a freelancer or as a full-time job. We train you, and then we coach you. It's a very unique program. There's nothing out there that's like this. And you have to be coached by professionals. Hey, from Venezuela, awesome. So that's devslopes.com/apply. If you apply, regardless of whether you join or not, you'll get a free career planning session where we actually help you map out your career and what you can do and some of the opportunities that are available for you. No purchase is necessary. And if you apply right now, you can mention a CEO discount in the form. And if you join, you can get a discount. So, devslopes.com/apply if you want to work with me one-on-one and my team to help you have success as an iOS developer, Android developer, or web developer. I tried to learn C++, so difficult, so I stopped. You encourage me to continue. Learn whatever is on the career path that you're going after. Have you ever watched Luke Smith videos, and what do you think about bloated web? I have not watched Luke Smith. I'll write that down. I don't know what bloated web means, but web development is very slow, and those languages are slow, and it's nasty and ugly, and I think everything should be statically typed. Statically typed languages. But I don't know what that means specifically. But I wrote that down. I'll take a look at it later. So thanks, everyone. Check out my Kickstarter. Apply to DevSlopes Academy. Keep on coding. Keep on crushing it. We'll be back here tomorrow. And don't forget, we have a new show every single Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube. You can it's casual coding, and we code, and you can ask questions. I did one today. Check it out on YouTube. Subscribe. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you.